A Predator prequel is underway, and exactly as bad as you suspect. In fact, it mirrors, if not exactly duplicates, what was just done in The Acolyte, maybe to even greater harm than we could imagine. And it leaves me with one question that I want you to answer at the end of the video. Why are every single one of these series replacing or adding to some established franchise a prequel? And why does it always feature a woman? Is it because women have to be the first in everything? I know that sounds sexist, misogynistic, or is it actually just misandrous in replacing the original material? Let's jump into the story. And believe it or not, this is coming from our friends over at Bleeding Cool. That's right, our friends over there. We've got Todd Fisher writing this one. And troublesome details emerge as Predator prequel Badlands start filming. Well, it's just now underway, so, I mean, how troubling could it be? Well, the Predator prequel, titled Badlands, including the plot, characters, and confirmation that filming has begun, has all of the details out there in the world. And, of course, it's being filmed in New Zealand. All of this information that we're about to review was given to us by AVP Galaxy, who discovered the production codename for the movie was Backpack. Kind of makes sense. The synopsis and character details indicate that Badlands will star Fanning as twin sisters Thea and Tessa. Thea has spent most of her life in a laboratory and is going to do her first big adventure in the world, while Tessa has a militant intensity when it comes to achieving her family's goals. Here is the casting call, which includes some unnecessarily political red flags, and I think you will agree. This casting is for a dual character and describes both characters. Character identifies as female or non binary, open ethnicity, mid 20s to 40s. Thea has spent most of her life in a laboratory and is now embarking on her first big adventure in the world. She's incredibly smart, witty, enthusiastic, and unflappable. She is an innate disregard for danger, not because she's fearless, but simply because she's naive. Strong comedy chops required. The other sister, Tessa, has a militant intensity when it comes to achieving her family's goals and mission objectives. She will not let anything get in her way, not even her twin sister. This sounds remarkably familiar to me. Also, if this Fanning person is who I think it is, we also have no reason to believe this character can do any of the things required to defeat a predator. Moving on. Dan Trachtenberg, who directed the critically acclaimed Prey in 2022, will helm both Badlands and a Prey sequel. Prey reignited a Predator franchise, dropping the alien hunter into 1719 and pitting it against Amber Midthunder's Naru, a young Comanche warrior. The film was met with critical acclaim, and fans have been calling for a sequel ever since. Well, again, where it aired, it didn't really have a lot to overcome because it was on a streaming service. As to whether or not it should have been put in theaters is an argument for people like, I don't know, box office enthusiasts. For everybody who's been asking about me about sequels, it's like that is the thing, is that oftentimes someone does a cool thing and the sequel is just, and then the next part. And then it's like, oh, well, that's just following up the cool. That isn't what that thing was. And so, yes, in thinking about what sequels could be, the primary conversation was and always will be, what can we do that is also special that hasn't happened yet? Not just for the Predator franchise, but for this kind of genre in particular. Can we still be doing something cool? Well, it's no different with prequels. You have to do something different. It has to be cool. In this case, all you're doing is gender swapping the character that it would normally be in a position to fight against a predator. And I believe you're doing it intentionally. Still, there are concerns being raised about the project, not only potentially veering into identity politics, which I will say it already has done, but the casting call also sounding eerily similar to Disney's failed series The Acolyte by focusing on twins as the central theme. I'm not sure anybody could argue with that. I have to tell you, I'm deeply concerned. I don't care how good this was, Trachtenberg, how good he is. I don't care about those things. I care about all of these franchises going female, and eventually it will lose its grip on the original core audience, just like all of the other woke things do. How do you wokeify a predator? Well, or to that, how do you wokeify Alien? Now, mind you, Alien Romulus did a fine job, but what's Noah Hawley going to do with Alien Earth? I don't know. There's just something suspect there as well. I also think the audience may have difficulty accepting Elle Fanning as a badass, for lack of a better way to put it, in this new prequel called Badlands. I don't suspect anybody will actually believe that that's possible. I'm not super excited about this and will likely try to skip it. And if this somehow ends up on streaming, I'm sure there are other ways for people to watch it. One of those people, though, won't be me based on the details so far. And unless something dramatically improves here, or I know somebody I trust that tells me this is good, I think I'll steer very clear of this one. But hey, as I said before, what do you think of all of these films being remade into prequels and changing the gender of the primary character type? Again, it worked okay for Alien, but is it going to work well for Predator? It's a good question. Also, is this the new trick we are always going to have to expect from Hollywood? A superficial change to a character means a whole lot more with something like this in an established franchise. Is this the new path forward that will essentially alienate the core audience that they don't like anymore? Are there still enough people that will be able to accept these types of changes? And is anybody going to believe that Elle Fanning is big enough to take on a predator, whether or not she's twins or not? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, double check that you're still subscribed. Also, hit that thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. And the biggest thing that I can ask you to do, and, hopefully you follow up on, is to share this out there on the various social platforms that you occupy, whether that be X or Threads or, I don't know, Instagram or even Facebook, which I'm not sure many people use Facebook anymore. But hey, all new viewers will help. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.